everyone, it's Nancy. I have another project for the hashtag howbohocanyougo. I just wanted to jazz up the beautiful vintage photos of these gypsy girls, and I was trying to think, what can we do with something we have already in our room, just to kind of give them a little step up. I like to alter things a lot. So I'm going to give you an idea. And I know not everybody has embossing folders and embossing machine, but I don't know. I just kind of was thinking, what can I do to, step these up a little bit just to make them more interesting. So this is what I thought of. I thought of taking an embossing folder. Now, if you have an embossing machine, you know what embossing machine is and what these folders are. And what you do is you put paper in there, close it up, run it through the machine, and then it imprints whatever this folder shows. So I have a collection of them. Excuse me. I have a collection of them, and I thought, well, what could we do? What if I did that? So, it kind of just adds an interest. So some of these I'll show you I did the whole picture through an embossing folder, and then some that were more detailed I did halfway. Like, for instance, this one here, if you could see it, this one was a very dimensional embossing folder of a swirl design and flower. So I only put the picture in halfway and embossed it. And we're gonna do some. I'm gonna show you. I embossed them with different folders, and then the next step I did was take a very fine grit sandpaper. And if you don't have a fine grit sandpaper, if you have an emery board, you know how one side's softer, like a smoother than the other side. Use the smoother side of the emery board, and I lightly went over it to distress, and it makes the embossing pop up. And then what I did was I had some gold paste. This is vintage gold. It's by Art Alchemy Metallic Wax Paste. And I thought, well, I'll highlight some of the embossing with the gold paste. So I did that, and then I had some pretty trim of leaves, but you can use any trim. And I cut one of the butterflies out, and I only glued it in the middle and popped it up here, and I glued one of the sentiments here. Just inked the edges around, and I thought it just kind of added something to the picture. So I'm going to put this one aside. Now this one, I don't know if you can see. I had an embossing folder that had a very light, it was like embossed, I don't know, and had some words in it, and I just did the whole picture, and then I brushed the gold over it after I sanded it. And if you can see that, I'm not sure, it just kind of really aged the picture a lot, that one. So I did that, and so these are the two that I did. So I'm going to do the rest with you. So I'm going to put these to the side for a minute. We'll look at them again. So I wanted to show you, I embossed a bunch of these, and I got some little tags and ribbons out. So I'm gonna go step by step and show you. Let's play with these and see what we can come up with, okay? So let me put this here. Now this one, I love this gal because she's so colorful, and she has her mandolin there. I think that's a mandolin. So I had a music embossing folder. I had like music sheet embossing. So I did run this through. And what I'm going to do is take a very fine sandpaper, and I'm just going to go very lightly in a circular motion. And you can feel how much pressure you want to put when you start seeing it distress. That means, you're doing the right amount of pressure. You want to see some of that lift off the page. So I don't know if you can see that. I only did it halfway. And you can sand off as much as you want. If you want more sanding, then go right ahead. And I just take a damp, not wet, but just a damp cloth here, or what do you call it? A wet wipe, but it's really dry. I mean, there's nothing wet. So can you see that I did the distressing on there, right? Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this gold paste here, and I have like a old stencil brush. You want just like a, you know, you could probably use like a Q-tip if you have, or a stiff toothbrush, an old toothbrush, or if you have a stencil brush. So what I did was I just took some of this gold paste and put it on a piece of plastic here. And I'm just going to dip my brush in there and kind of get it in there like that. And I'm going to gently kind of go over the raised area. And you'll know how hard to press. You don't want to press super hard, but hard enough where you can start seeing the embossing kind of take to some of the, you know, the lifted part will grab the gold. And you don't even have to have, you know, you don't even have to do this stuff if you don't have any gold paint or wax or crayons. If you have a wax crayon gold, you probably could use that too and lightly go over it with the crayon. That might work as well. So if you can see, I'm not sure that you can, it did pick up the gold. And then I had a piece of this sari silk here, so I thought I would just glue that on there. And I don't want to take too much time, but I'm just going to, I probably could use my fabric tack on this, but I'm going to just use my glue and I'll let it set to dry. And I'm just going to put this here. It's already crinkled. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. I'm not going to, you know, make it do anything it's not already doing here. So we're going to glue that down there. And then I have one of the butterflies and the sayings that I cut out. I'm going to glue that on. And then what I like to do with the butterflies, I'll show you. I'm going to put this right here. And then the butterfly I cut out, I'm just going to, I have a little vintage photo on my sponge here. So I'm just going to give it a hit around the white edges with that. And what I do is I just take my nail and kind of crease the middle of the butterfly just to give it a little dimension. And I will put some glue just on the middle. And I'm going to put it right here. Let that dry. But for this right now, what I'm going to do is just going to hit the butterfly wings a little bit with the gold. And then let it dry. And, you know, it just kind of adds something, if you can see the embossing on the camera. So just, it kind of adds a little something extra. So we'll look at that one in a minute. And then let's go to this one here. I like this one too because she's dancing. So I did a swirl on her. So let's just see what, now see on this one you could tell more. See how it's, you know, taking some of the color off the photo. Okay, let me just clean that off. I give it a dry wipe here, and can you see that? So then, if you want to do the gold, we can. I'll have to put some more out here. You can just gently go over this, and it'll pick it up. And if you don't want to use gold, you could probably use like a color, you know, if you don't like metallic. But with the boho, I really do like the metallic look on the boho. It's probably hard to see the gold. Not sure if you can see it. But then I have this little piece from a sari I wanted to put there. And then I have artistic, and I already inked that. So let me just get this on. And, you know, it takes just a few minutes, but I don't know, it just kind of adds a little something, I think. And I'm just going to put this on right here. And I like that it's, I like to hang things off the side sometimes too. So I'm just going to let that all kind of hang off the side. I'm not gluing the rest. I just glued the middle and let that hang off the side there. And I kind of like how that looks. It just adds a little something. Let's work on this red one here. Now, this is super cute, this little girl here. So what I did was I had another piece, a little piece of this sari with this little gold on here. And I just stitched it on with my machine. I ran it through an embossing folder just halfway up. And we're going to give it some. Now see, this one you could tell too on here, right? See how it really lifted that up because the picture is dark? I think you could probably see it better, right? Just wipe it real quick. And then this one, since I stuck that on there, and what I was going to do is glue this part down right over here. Just give it some glue so that sticks there. Okay. Just want to clip some of these little threads hanging here. Okay. Oh, and my little bead almost rolled away on me here. So I just took one of the cards, the one that says Free Spirit. I have a little ball pen. I thought I would put that on here, and I found this little blue. I just found this little red bead here in my stash of stuff, and I thought I would just pin it here. So you don't have to glue everything. If you want some dangles, I love dangles, anything that dangles off. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be fun to just put that there with that little red bead like that. And I thought I'll put a little bit of gold because it'll pick up the gold in the sari silk, right? So let me try to get some of this gold in here. Just a little bit. It really does add something, I think, but there we go. Not too much. Yeah, it's probably hard to see on camera, but it really looks nice. And then you have something like that. So, and I inked the edges. So I rounded the corners, I inked the edges on everything, picked the embossing folders, ran them through either halfway or all the way, depending on what the folder was. Just found, little things that I could add on just to make them a little more interesting, okay? And I have a few more here, just 3 more here, some different ones. Now this embossing folder was very subtle. I don't even know if you can see it with the light, but I ran the whole picture through it. So let's see what happens when I give it a little. I'll try to stay away from her if I can and just kind of go around the outside here. You see? I know I already kind of went by her face, but I think it's fine. And I want to say, let me just wipe this off here. Oh, dropped her on the floor. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who has taken their precious time to watch my video of my boho art dolls with this collaboration, hashtag howbohocanyougo with Rach and Bella. It just does my heart good. Thank you so much for taking your time and leaving me such really nice comments. I say, and most of us have said this, that everybody in the journal community is so kind, so generous, and it's like having a friend even though we can't all be together and journal and create together, but the online community is just so wonderful, and I'm really, really, really appreciate everyone. So I just wanted to say a big hugs and thank you to everyone. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that looks kind of nice, I think. I'm gonna talk, and I'm gonna be crying here, so I'm not gonna talk anymore about that, but just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate each and every one, because it does mean a lot to me. Okay, so I gave it a little gold, and that looks really nice. And I kind of stayed away from her face and that, but can you see that? That looks so nice. And I have a little piece of this sari, so I thought maybe, I don't know, I thought maybe I could put it on here. Or I can even put it this way. And then I had one of the little tags, Free Spirited, and I punched a hole in it and put this on here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just glue it on there. Sometimes, you overthink it. You put things on there and you're auditioning them to see what looks good, and it's like, oh, I don't know. Does it look good? Does it? I can't make up my mind. You know what? Well, they usually say if you can't make up your mind, walk away and then come back to it. But I just want to go for it. I really do. I don't want to think about it. I'm gonna just put it down. I love my first impressions of things, so I that's what I want to do. I just want to go with my gut and do whatever my first impression was. So I better get this on there before the glue dries here. Just wanted to try something different. So let's get that on there. See? So just a piece of sari. I mean, it might not look like much, but I really think that looks good. So I like that one. And then a couple more. I had a piece of sari silk here, and I did another one of the printables. I printed smaller. I have another bulb pin here, and I had an embossing folder with flowers, so I only did it halfway. So let's give her a little rub here with the paper. And then we'll just give it a wipe, really quick wipe. Get some of this around. Okay, so there's that. And then let's see if I have any gold left. I can hit it with the gold right away. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. And then on this one, I just tied a knot on the one end, and I thought I would attach it just up there. So let me put this pin through with my saying, the little cute little quote on there, like that. And what I'm going to do, you know what? I'm not going to, I could glue it all the way down here, but I kind of like that it's hanging free. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue right here, right at the top here. And I'm going to just glue it there so the ribbon will be free flowing. I'm just going to put the knot there like that. Okay, and then this will be free and the ribbon will be free flowing like that. And that's another one that I think is cute. And one more, just one more quick one here, and then I'll go through them really quick. This one here, I did kind of the top half. It was a very light overall one here. So once again, I'm going to use my sandpaper, but I'm going to try to stay away from her face and just go around the edges here. Like this. Let me get that off here. Okay, and let's see how much gold I have left. So I'm just going to go around the edges here. A little bit of that gold goes a long way. It really does. Like that, see? And then I have another little tiny piece of that I was just going to put there. And I have the one that says boho chic on it. So I think I'm just going to glue it and glue the sari silk down. Let me get that. My bigger glue. So it'll go faster. Oh, I just love all the projects everybody's been doing. Wow, isn't it gorgeous what people have been coming up with? But you know what helps is Rach and Bella's digital is just so beautiful. It just lends itself to everything that everybody's making. I mean, everybody's journals that have posted, and I'm sure the ones that, you know, even if you don't post, what you're making at home is, wow, it's just gorgeous, right? So there, I'm just going to glue that like that. It does have, I don't know if you can tell, there's some little beads in there, and there she is. Okay, so I hope you liked it. Let's just go quickly through. I'll show you these once again. So yeah, just, I mean, even if you want to try it on one or two of them, but I think they have add a little more interest with some gold and embossing and some, you know, dangles and things like that on them. This one is a little, this one looks really old, like vintagey old, the way this embossing folder worked and the gold on there. And then we have this pretty girl, which I love her. I used her face in the boho dolls, I think. So I did, yeah. And then this one, we have little red bead on there, free spirit. And the dancer, artistic. And then this one says free spirit here on this one. And then my last one is this one with the pretty trim, the music embossing folder. And that, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed this. Try them. They're really quick and easy. It doesn't take a lot of work or energy. And I think it adds something really pretty to your journal card. So thanks for joining me and have a really nice weekend. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.